lacks right wingers, and then draft yet another left winger. So I definitely do. I think Bolt, not a knock on Bolt. I think he's talented, big kid. Could definitely be a top. Could be a really great power forward in this league, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking for things to criticize because of Paul Fenton. But I like the pick. I think they did well for themselves there.
Yeah. And the next pick at 13, Florida Panthers choose goaltender Spencer Knight. He was pretty much the best goalie that was available at the spot. And Florida is going to need the goalie in the future. Like Luongo is really old. Ramu is starting to get there in age. And if they sign Sergei Bobrovsky, it could help, but a few years because he's old too.
Yeah, I really like. I like Florida going for the risk and saying why not. Spencer's really great at keeping his angles covered. He's got good agility. He can make out unreal saves. He's really calm for a kid his age. I do. I don't that.
He doesn't get out of position often.
Oh yeah,
which is something, and he's very poised for his age.
Yeah, that's essentially what I said. But
good size,
I think what I was, he's not like he's pretty much he's pretty much the modern mold of an NHL goaltender. He doesn't do like anything out of the ordinary or play like some different style that may be old and out of date.
Yeah.
He's just really great at the modern style. And I'm not jumping on the hype train and saying he's going to be the American Carey Price, but I definitely see a lot of great with him.
Yeah, he's going to be great.
And one thing that does concern me is that Florida hasn't produced, like they haven't drafted a goalie that's made it to the NHL in their system. That's the one thing that does concern me. But this is a first-round pick and top 15 as well. So I'd imagine he's probably going to be a pretty good goaltender. Or at least make the NHL. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then at 14th overall, with the pick that Philly got from Arizona, they draft defenseman Cam York. He's been compared to Brian Leach a lot. Brian Rafalski, called like one of the most pure offensive defensemen in this draft. He's got like a really good pass. He had 51 assists in the U.S. Development League this year. He had 14 goals as well. Great shot. Doesn't really take a lot of penalties. He's not shy from physical contact, but he doesn't really get physical. He's also an excellent skater. Definitely not that bad of a pick on Philly's part. Adds another defenseman to their system that they can use and potentially makes one of their other defensemen expandable. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, cinema.
The next pick, Montreal Canadiens selected Cole Caulfield, which I think was a great steal for them. 72 goals in 64 games for United States national U18 team. Mm-hmm. I really like this pick. He arguably should have gone, top 10?
Yeah.
Maybe even earlier.
Top 5, maybe.
I really like this pick. Something that he's said multiple times is that his playmaking is very underrated. That's still to be seen because, he produced 40 assists in, would that be 82 games? I mean, that's still really good, but compared to how many goals he scored, it's kind of concerning, but we'll have to wait and see what he does at Wisconsin with teammate Alex Turcotte.
I mean, what he does best. He puts that puck in the net. I mean, 70 goals is nothing to shy at.
And that was a record for the U.S. and TDP, right?
Oh yeah, I believe so. Yeah, this is a really great draft for the USA. Also, just like that was four consecutive USA USA Development Program players drafted from Matthew Boldy to Cole Caulfield.
Yeah, and being a Habs fan, I thought that it was going to get picked like top 5, top 10, but the more it was going forward, I was like, oh, the Habs need a goal scorer. We need a goal scorer at every cost, pretty much. We didn't have a goal scorer in like years. This is pretty much the problem we had, and we didn't make the playoff because of that need and in defense too.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I was so happy at the draft. I was really happy.
If there's one thing I also might add, good thing for Montreal, because Elite Prospects also lists Caulfield as a center. Actually, he's listed as a primary center, but also considering the center depth that the U.S. development team had this year, I doubt he played that much center, if at all.
Yeah, he was a right winger.
Yeah,
reminds me of a lot of Alex DeBrincat, and which Montreal could have had if they didn't trade away those 2 second-round picks for Andrew Shaw.
Well, maybe what if they maybe? I don't think they would have drafted DeBrincat at that time anyway. Nobody.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nobody was really looking at DeBrincat, and then the Hawks did, and then if he came in with the world on fire, then everybody was like, oh crap, does he look like DeBrincat? Does he play like DeBrincat? Is he small like DeBrincat? We're drafting him.
Yeah, and at the next pick, the Colorado Avalanche took Ales Newhook. Newhook is a center, 5'10", 190 pounds center. Pretty much he's a good player. He has a great footwork, agility, heel-to-toe skating. He had great stat, 102 points in 53 games in the British Columbia Hockey League. He was a captain of his team too. So pretty much, he's a great player. He was a great player. That's it.
Around this time last year, I think people had him ranked in their top 5. Just some people that I know, they had him ranked in their top 5. But I think because of the quality of competition that he played in, I think that kind of affected his draft stock. But at the U18s, he really showed that he can play with the best of the best. He put up 10 points in 7 games, which was tied for first on that Canadian team with Peyton Krebs. So.
And you said Peyton Krebs, right?
Yep.
Speak of the devil, with the next pick, the Vegas Golden Knights, they selected Kootenay Ice winger / center Peyton Krebs.
Winnipeg Ice.
Oh yeah, whatever. Bring off, Randy. But anyway, Winnipeg Ice winger / center Peyton Krebs. He's been called a potent point producer who can be a catalyst, and he can go to the dirty areas if need be. He's a good skater. He has a good two-way game, even though his minus 50 was pretty trash. Even though his minus 50 says otherwise. But Kootenay / Winnipeg was trash this past year, and I think because of that, them being that trash, it kind of hurt Krebs' value, I guess, in terms of where he could have been. I thought he was a top 10 talent, in my opinion.
Yeah, I had him ranked in my top 10, but in my mock draft, I had him going 16th because I thought that injury was going to affect. It shouldn't have, but it did affect his draft stock.
Yeah, the poor guy the poor guy being there was a miracle. He was limping all the way to the stage.
Yeah, good for him even getting up to the stage.
Oh yeah. So if he can make the full transition to center in the NHL, Vegas might have their top 2 centers for a while with Glass and Krebs.
Yeah. Well, then they also have William Karlsson.
Oh yeah, true.
Great year.
Well, true, but I don't. Yeah, I have my own opinions on that.
Next pick, the Dallas Stars selected Thomas Harley. Thomas Harley.
Hey, Harley Thomas is a Hall of Famer. Don't you disrespect his name. Put some respect on
He's a good offensive defenseman. He has some size to him, 6'3", 192, left-handed defenseman. I think he's a pretty good offensive defenseman. Got a decent amount of goals after only scoring 1 in 17-18. He scored 11 this year. Yeah, he's a pretty good defenseman. Needs to work on his defense. Good passer. Maybe needs to work on his speed, but I like this pick. He could have gone a little later, but I still like it.
Yeah, very much it's very much what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, he was a rough in the diamond. Well, no, that's not what I'm looking
Diamond in the rough.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, I'm trying to be a little bit coy. I'm trying to be a little bit coy because I have my own opinions on how Dallas did this draft. But I thought the Harley pick was okay, nothing special. But who knows? Maybe they'll actually like him. The coaching staff might actually like him as a player.
Yeah.
But and then moving on.
And let's pick the Ottawa Senator select Lassie Thompson. I was surprised because if I remember, it was like in the top 30 and not in the top 20, pretty much. I didn't know this guy. He looked good on paper, but we never know. He can be a bust, like he can be a gem. He's a 6 foot tall player, 190 pound. He's a skill at two-way forward, as it's on multiple site. But really, I really don't know. Next year, he's gonna play in Liga, so maybe he's gonna become better. But in the WHL, he didn't have like great stats versus like the other defender.
I mean, for being a defenseman, he put up a decent amount of goals, 17. From what I've heard, he has a pretty strong shot.
Yeah,
So
I mean, and he's one of those guys who came over just to help his draft stock, I assume. Because
I don't know if it helped or hurt. It seemed like he was still in the same area
okay,
last
yeah,
year, I think.
I just think he's one of those guys. He's gonna be fine, but just average all around. Like
yeah,
you
he's
can
not
see
going to be amazing.
yeah, you can see the senses there, but I mean, I know that Kelowna, the team he played for, kind of fell off the map a little bit this past year or so, and I'm not really familiar with his. I didn't see him play that much. I didn't really watch like his ice time usage, but so I can't really say if he was getting more points because he was getting a lot more of the ice time than he would have if Kelowna was actually good. But that could arguably, but the sad part is that Lassie Thompson pick arguably could have been the best pick Ottawa made this draft.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, then moving on, we've got Ville Heinola, a Finnish defenseman who played for Lukko of the Liga this past year. He played 9 games in the Junior ASM Liga, had 9 points in 9 games, and he made his way up to the main league, had 14 points in 34 games, 26 penalty minutes to 7 plus minus a 7, and had 4 points in 7 playoff games. Huh?
Yeah, I like this pick. I had him actually going here in my actual mock draft. It kind of reminds me of Yoki Haru again, like Soderstrom did. One thing that kind of stood out is that he made the U20 team for Finland, so that kind of shows something, like how mature he is for his age to be playing up 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he was also playing in the men's league as well. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for my part, I thought that before the Avs will get like Cole Caulfield, maybe they were going to draft this player pretty much. I was really interested in this player. He was looking good and everything like that, size and everything like that.
And then moving on, pick 21, Pittsburgh selects Samuel Poulin, I believe.